Hello, I'm Namali McKay. I'm a trade advisor and I've previously worked with the Australian government negotiating a number of trade deals. I'm here to show you how EEF's new Brexit Toolkit works. And the Brexit Toolkit is essentially a self-audit online tool that will really help companies plan and prepare for the changes they'll face after Brexit. Now, that may take the form of tariff and customs procedures, and it will really map the import and export journey. So let me actually walk you through an exact example of how the toolkit works. So using the tool is simple, and all you need are your product details. You can input these in one by one, or if you've already got the codes, you can actually upload a spreadsheet with the details. Now, in this example, we're going to show you how the tool can help find out what duties you'll pay for a popular blackcurrant soft drink. Now, this product has various inputs from all over the world, and the tool will help us look at all of the ingredients and the exact cost to import these ingredients each month. The ingredients are blackcurrant, sugar, water, and vitamin C. Now let's assume we don't know all of the codes, so I would start by typing in blackcurrant and identifying the tariff code that most accurately describes my ingredient. And after I select that code, I then need to estimate the value of blackcurrant imports. So let's say I import 100,000 pounds of blackcurrant per month, and I would add this value here. Now you can see that the unit box is grayed out here, and what that means is the tool needs no further information to calculate the tariff. So I can then repeat this process with our next ingredient, which is cane or beet sugar. And as you can see, there are multiple options here, so you would actually need to identify which one best describes your product. And again, we need to add in the value. So let's say we import 50,000 pounds of sugar. You can now see that because of the way this tariff is structured, it's slightly different. The tool needs me to actually estimate the number of kilograms I'm importing as well. So I'm going to say 50,000 kilograms as an example. And then finally, we've got our last ingredient, vitamin C, which we will locate and then add in the customs value. Again, let's say 10,000 pounds. And once again, the unit box is grayed out here as well. Now you can then click Calculate Duty as the final step, and what you'll have is the total import value as well as the exact duty you'll pay for each product. Now in this case, we're talking about 160,000 pounds being the total value of the ingredients you've imported, and the amount of duty that needs to be paid is £27,000 per month. So we can then move on to the next step by clicking Next Step. And in Step 2, you can similarly assess the tariff that your exported goods will face at the EU border. Now, in our example, we're exporting the blackcurrant beverage, and we do know the code. So again, just add in the value of how much you're exporting, let's say 150,000 pounds of the product. And again, in this case, as it's the only good I'm exporting, we can go straight to the Calculate Duty button, and that will give me the final export value of the goods. So this is 150,000 pounds that I'm exporting, and I'd have to pay a tariff of approximately 14,400 per month on that export amount. So now that we've calculated our import and export tariffs, we can move to Step 3 to assess the customs formalities that will apply to my goods after Brexit. Now you can see here that there are a series of yes or no questions that apply to your unique trading circumstances. So after each question, you'll be provided with specific relevant customs information for each scenario that you face. Now in this example, we'll click through just a few appropriate answers just to give you a sense of what it's like. First off, we do currently export our blackcurrant drink, so I'll click yes. And now I'm provided with information about the customs clearance process that my goods are going to go through. And next, my product has undergone a substantial manufacturing process in the UK, so I click yes again. And I now have information about rules of origin issues, which is crucial going forward. And finally, we do receive goods from EU countries, and I now have further information about customs clearance processes as well as any relevant HMRC notices that I need to account for. So you'd need to answer all of the relevant questions before clicking next, and at the final step you'll get a printer-friendly report covering all of the import-export journey and each customs process that your product will face. It will also set out all the tariff rates you have to pay, and you can actually export them into a separate spreadsheet. And if that doesn't apply to you, you can simply just generate a final PDF of the entire report. So that's an example of how the Brexit Toolkit works in practice. If you do have any further questions, please feel free to email us at brexit@eef.org.uk.